Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another video. I am so excited to be here with you guys today because I am officially launching all of my different color variations of my 2023 planner, and I'm so excited to share these with you. If you've been on my shop, you'd know that I did launch a couple of these colors earlier on in the month, but I decided I wanted to do a little bit more with them and give you guys some different options, so here we are. The purpose of today's video is for me to show you the different color options, as well as to do a brief walkthrough of the planner. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because I do have a walkthrough of my 2022 planner, which is essentially identical to this with some minor changes, obviously for the year and just some updates. But that being said, I will leave a link to that below if you would like to check that out. It is, like I said, far more thorough. It's about 45 minutes long, but it does have timestamps. So there's a walkthrough portion, there's installation of everything that you would need to know for your fonts, stickers, notebook covers, and anything else. And one last thing before we get into this, make sure that you stay tuned to the end of the video as I have a big announcement coming you won't want to miss. So to avoid wasting too much time today, let's just jump right in. For starters, I'm just using my standard gray that I had for 2022. This is for those of you who are looking for a much more neutral, sort of minimalistic planner. You don't really want it to clash in any way with the sticker sets that you like to use. Not everyone cares about this. Some people do. This is a great option if you do. So all of the accents throughout this planner are going to be gray. So all the little stickers, the tabs, anything in the calendars, everything will be this nice gray color. But we also have blue, and this is a nice blue color. It matches all of the stickers, and actually every color that I show you today except for one will match the free sticker set that's included in the bundle. We have pink, and I really like this pink. I don't know, it makes me very happy. So again, everything's the same, just the color changes. We have coral. Green, and yellow. And these are the colors that I used when I designed the notebook covers and the sticker sets that are a part of this bundle. So there's 5 colors plus the gray. And then I also decided I wanted to use a multicolor version of all of these. So here's the little mix. And at first I thought this was a little bit much, but the more I look at it, the more it grows on me, and I actually really like it. I think it's super fun. So if you're somebody who's just looking for a nice colorful planner and just putting whatever in it you want to, maybe this is right up your alley. So you can see all the different color variations here. And each page then gets, a little bit of each of these colors. But the one thing about this is that if the tab is blue, then everything relating to that tab is also going to be blue. So if I go to January, all of the January planning pages are blue. And this also goes for the finance trackers for each month. So if we're in January, we get our blue January expense and budget page. Let's say we're in April, it's this nice coral color. If I click on our little finance guy, right here is the coral color. So we can come back to April and you can kind of see how these change a little bit. So this is the coral palette. For pink, looks like this. Yellow. It's kind of like a golden yellow. And then the green. And so then any of the pages that aren't specific to the month do just have a mixture of the colors. So let's say I come to like meal planning, for example, it's gonna just be a few of these colors all kind of mixed up and looking pretty. I don't know, I really like this. It makes me happy. And like I said, the stickers match all of these, so I will take you to that sticker set. As you can see, the color palette is the same, so this will match any of the ones I just showed you. The last planner I want to show you is in this purple color. And I don't know about you guys, I've just been really feeling this purple color lately. In doing this, I also realized that I recently changed my phone case to basically the same color. And I don't know why, but it's just making me feel really inspired to turn this purple color into a few different color palettes that I can use for sticker sets. So be on the lookout for those in the future. But for the purposes of today's video, I will use this purple one to do the full walkthrough of the planner as well. But before we get into that, make sure you head to the comments below and let me know what your favorite color palette of these are. I always find it hard to choose a favorite. That's a problem of mine in general, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to use next year, so leave a comment below and help me make my decision. That being said, this is where your cover page is for now, and you can always add a page before this and turn this into the cover page, which is what you'll see in your GoodNotes library. But if you want more details on that, you can check out my 2022 video, and that will explain how to do that. But we'll just start with the menu up here. So all of these are clickable tabs, all the months as well as this menu bar that exists in the top right corner. So you'll just click on the home button. So I'm just going to start with the basics here. Pretty much everything that you see is clickable. This menu bar will exist on every single one of the pages, and if you need to understand what each of those symbols mean, there's a link there. Each of these is clickable. This is essentially like a table of contents of what's in your planner. So you can click on any of these pages. So I'll start with the year at a glance. And all of these numbers are clickable. All of the months are clickable, and there are also hidden links on the side of each week that will take you to that week, and those are clickable. Those links remain on all of the pages that have a smaller version of the calendar in the corner as well. So you can click anywhere in those and it'll take you to those pages as well. And that exists on the main calendar page as well. There are hidden links here on the edge, and each of these will take you to the daily plan. So there's that. We can come back to this one, click on the week, or you could just click on the week from the month view. So again, those hidden links are off to the side. Also on these weekly pages, you can click on any of the days and it'll take you to that day as well. I'm not kidding when I say these links are everywhere. Wanted to make navigating through all of this as easy as possible. So let's come back to the home page. We're just gonna start here with the year at a glance, and I'm just gonna scroll through. So you can see the full year here. You can write down important dates that you want to log in the future. Sometimes we just have to scribble things really quickly and then we can put them into our planner later. This is kind of what that is, a sort of catch-all for important dates, as well as one for birthdays. We have a memories section here, and this is meant to look like your Instagram grid. And you can just put a little square photo in each of these, and then you can write a caption or whatever you want to put in here that's going to describe this photo, whether that's a song that captures your feelings or a quote, anything that you want. There's a blank space for your vision board, and this starts the define your life section. So you can like cut and paste things, put them in here, and yeah, just make a vision board. We have a before and after section, so January 1st through December 31st, and you can just write about where you're currently at and what some of your goals are, and then at the end of the year, kind of reflect on the progress that you've made, what worked, what didn't work. And there's a spot here to do a little rating, as well as here you can find this little circle which takes different categories of your life, and you can kind of rate your satisfaction level. So the more you color in, the happier you are in that area. And then, you know, you can do this on like a month-to-month basis if you want. But of course, I do have one for January 1st and December 31st. So you can just see what areas you're prioritizing, what is getting neglected, and see if there's anything that you want to change in those areas to build a more like holistic happiness, I guess. And that kind of takes us to this next page, which is where you take all of those different categories. And if there's anything you feel like you're lacking in that's not getting the attention it needs, you can specifically set goals in that area on this page. And then here we have a space to write the goal and any action steps or dates that you want to measure those or complete those by. But then in addition to that, we have these baby steps or habits that will help you to complete your action steps. So these are the sort of like tiny little lifestyle changes that are going to really help you to get out of your own way, in a sense. Things that are going to reduce the resistance to you achieving your goals. And you can duplicate this page as many times as you need. This is a gratitude page. This is intended to just be really little things, and there are 365 days here, and you can just write down each day something really tiny that made you happy. We have a routine section, so you just write down the routine, and then each of these represents the day of the week, so you can just go in and tick off as you complete them, and yeah, hopefully build a routine that keeps you from falling into chaos when the world inevitably gets crazy. This isn't necessarily for everyone, but I do think that even if you're somebody who's not crazy about having tons of routine and doesn't want a really strict life in that sense, that even having some of the smallest sort of like foundational routines can be really helpful in, like I said, avoiding just falling into chaos when things get kind of crazy, because it happens. We all know that things get crazy, so having something to fall back on to keep you grounded is always nice. So that's kind of the idea behind this. So here we have a 2023 mood tracker, and I do want to talk about this for a second because last year I definitely struggled with this and it kept me from utilizing it to its fullest extent. And so what I was doing was I was just coloring these in, and then as the days went by, I was trying to color match the best that I could because I couldn't remember like which yellow was this or which shade of pink, and it became a problem for me. So what I would recommend doing is instead you can just take your highlighter pen and start with a color. So we'll just do this pink that it's already on, and then you can color this in. You could just do a line if you want to, but essentially what you're going to do is then make sure that your handwriting is on, and I'm just going to select this and I'm going to copy it, and then I will come over and I will paste it on the spot where I want it to go. And then this saves you so much trouble later on because then you don't have to do any color matching. You can just lasso it, copy it, and paste it where you want it in the planner. So super easy that way. Up next, we have each of our months, and these are our budget trackers. So the idea behind all of this is that it is an actual budget and not like an expense tracker. You're not going to write down every little thing that you spend, but what you're going to do is instead think about what you want to spend on each of these areas in a year, and then divide that by 12, and that amount is the budget that you are intending for yourself to stick to. And as long as you do that and you have money left over in your monthly cash flow, you're not negative, then you're in good shape. And this does include savings, it includes any debt repayment, also takes into consideration your different forms of income, fixed expenses, and variable expenses. And I think this is such a smart way to actually budget, because we all know that things come up unexpectedly and you just never want to be hit by one of those things and not know how you're going to afford it. So planning ahead and setting aside money each month for when that thing inevitably happens, or like Christmas, for example. Christmas always depletes all of my funds because I have 4 nephews and nieces, and so I spend a lot of money on them, and if I don't plan ahead, then it really kills me. So I highly recommend starting from the beginning of the year and putting aside money for gifts and how much you expect to spend on those things over the course of the year, and then just dividing that and putting that money away each month. So the next 12 pages are the same. So to scroll through here. And then the very next page would be the month of January. So as I mentioned, you can click on any of these days in the week, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. But if you just scroll one page, you'll see here is the habits page. So you can track your monthly habits. Anything that you just want to do on a weekly basis that you feel like you need to track to remind yourself. Maybe that's mopping the floor, maybe it's dusting, watering plants. You can put those things here, and whatever day of the week you plan on doing those things, as well as anything that needs to be completed once a month, just so that we don't forget it. And there's a spot here to review in case there is anything you want to do again next month, try again next month that didn't work for you, or you've just decided it's not worth your time and energy, and yeah, just reflecting on that is useful. Then we have our weeks. These first few links of January are not going to be clickable because they go to 2022, but starting from the 1st, all of the days will be clickable. You can scroll through here, and on the very last week of most months, as long as that week spanned that bridge between the 2 months, you will find this page duplicated. So you will see this page at the end of January and also as the first week of February. So that's kind of up to you if you're kind of like in the flow and you just want to scroll one page and keep going, or you can start it in February. So totally up to you and your preference. After the last week of the month, we have a review page. So here you can just reflect on what you accomplished, what worked, what didn't work, what can you do better. And like I said, here's that little circle again that you can do each month if you want to reflect and see how your different priorities and different areas of your life are changing. And then we have all of our daily layouts that come after that. And I put these after that specifically because I know not everybody uses daily layouts, but this option is there if you want it, which, like I said, is super easy to access just by clicking any of the daily tabs here. So we'll go to the 31st, the end of the month, and then we can swipe right over to February, or we can just tap the February tab. The rest of the months are going to look exactly the way that January did, so I'm going to skip all the way to the end of December, and I'm going to skip to the 31st. Which brings us to our next section. This is our notebook section. So this can reflect, if you'd like, what that template library looks like. So in an ideal world, if you write something here, you would also write it on that section on the template library page. But I'll be honest, I'm terrible at using the template library page. I almost never do. So again, you do you and whatever works for you, but I do always label my categories here. There's only one page for each section. However, if you need more space, then you can just come up here and hit current template and hit after, and it'll put it after whatever page you were already writing on, and then you have more space to take notes on that specific thing. So there are 20 of these. These links at the bottom here are also clickable, in addition to, like I said, these being clickable. And there's a little star that'll show you that you're in the right section. The next page is a book tracker. So here you can just write down what you've been reading, what your rating of it is, any notes. And then we have our meal planning section, and this is the first section that the avocado will take you to. So this gives you a monthly layout if you want to plan out your meals for the month and what you need to buy. Here's a more detailed grocery list based on the different areas of the grocery store. And then if you're someone like me, you might benefit from a food diary, and this just helps you understand your body and how you react to certain foods. There's also a recipe log in here. So it might be a little bit extra. Not everyone will use this, especially with Pinterest and things like that nowadays, but maybe you want to, so I wanted to include it. If you click on the left side of any of these columns, it's going to click in groups of 2. So when I touch here, you'll be able to see that it highlights 2. And so I'll just click on that, and then it will take me to the recipe page for those. I'm gonna come back to my meal planning and scroll over to the recipe log, and I can also click on the right side of each column, and it's going to be a big group of 6. That's going to take me here. So this is just a sort of overview, right? So you'll just take a photo and put it in here of your meal, and then how many stars. And then you can just click on any of these and it will take you immediately to that recipe page. And you can write down the meal, where you got it from, the prep time and the cook time, the difficulty level, and the cost on a scale of 1 to 3. Of course, the same photo and rating, listing all the ingredients and the process that it takes. Again, this isn't for everyone. I actually have not used this at all. I love the idea, but I'll be honest, I don't cook, and I really wish that I did have a recipe book. I think it would be great, and I love the idea of like a real recipe book, but I don't like having things take up space, so I wanted to make a digital option, and I don't use it. But it's there for anybody who wants it. So we're just going to come back to the very last of these. I just don't want to miss anything by scrolling through. So we also have pages, just blank pages that you can duplicate and use as needed and move them anywhere in your planner. So to start, we have a set of lined pages. We have a dot grid. Hopefully you can see that. We have a standard grid. We have this list paper, which I love to use for brainstorming and things like that. And then just a plain blank page that you can put any of your favorite layouts that you've downloaded from anything else in. You can crop it and put it in here, and you can move this page, like I said, anywhere in the planner. And then one of the last things that we have here is a habits for like lifetime habits, essentially. So I always run into this issue where on my monthly habit tracker, I am constantly putting a lot of the same things that I'm working on all the time, but they're nothing specific to an area I'm trying to improve. It's just like a general life habit that I want to make sure that I'm doing. And I thought maybe this would help by, like, for example, sleeping 7 hours a night at least. If I put that here, then I can focus on other habits throughout the rest of the month. It's not necessary by any means, but if it's something that is of interest to you, this option is there for you. And then we have our stickers, which these come with all of the other planners, as I mentioned. They have the same color palette as the notebook covers, and I just think that they're super cute. So there are 3 pages, as I showed you guys earlier in the video, and you don't have to use them in your planner like this, But if you do want to add more stickers inside of the planner, and as opposed to being in a separate sticker book, then you can again just come up here and hit current template and make sure this is on after, and it will add more pages for you to copy and paste your stickers to. And then the very last things would be, I have these additional layouts. So we have a weekly layout from Sunday to Saturday, and this is a vertical option that you can separate things into categories like meals, tasks, events, whatever, however you want to do that. And then we have a Monday to Sunday layout. We have a Sunday to Saturday hourly plan, and then a Monday to Sunday hourly. But those are all of the pages within the planner. You can access any of those pages that I showed you from the template library here. And like I said, that's that notebook section. If you want to keep this consistent, if this is a page that you plan on using, then I think that's a really great idea. All right, and that is all for this walkthrough, which brings me to the very last thing of the video, which is the big announcement. I've decided to release all of my planners for 2023 at 40% off for the next week only. So I'm uploading this video late on Monday, November 14th. So that means I'm going to make this available for a total of 7 days. So you have until the end of the night on the 21st to purchase the entire planner bundle at 40% off, which in my opinion is a really great deal. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but you'll be getting a 2022 version of this planner in gray, just so that you can finish out the year without any issues. You'll be getting the sticker set that's included, the 46 Good Notes covers that match. You'll be getting the Cheeky Collegian font, which is the font that you see here. It's the font used throughout the entire planner, so you can stay consistent with your planning. And then the last thing would be, of course, the 2023 planner in the color of your choosing. So whether you want it to be this purple, the yellow, green, coral, pink, blue, gray, or the multicolored one, whichever one is more suitable for you. Anyway, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!